right, guys. So here we are. We just wanted to do a pop-up. And I want to say that, are you a man feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders with career, stress, family, financial, inner turmoil? Is your emotional intelligence holding you back from being the leader, partner, and protector you aspire to be? Are you tired of surface level communication, longing for a deeper, more meaningful connection? This is why Doc made this breaking silence, um, emo- overcoming emotional suppression in men. And I want to say, Doc, can you see the screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Now I want to say, do you want to have control of it so that you can go on the full breakdown, whether we're going to take an hour, we're going to take 45 minutes. It wouldn't, Facebook is being finicky right now, but we'll get the recorded replay. I'll chop it all up. But I just want to say this is what me and Doc do for men.
If I can control it, I don't know how to
Okay.
control
So,
screen share.
yep.
Okay. All right.
So you do full capacity at it. I'm going to stop the share on my end, right?
Mhm.
And then this way you can have full host tools going to your end. And
Okay.
you can do it. Because I have the exact same thing on my screen, so I can chime in when I want to. You tell me when you want to do this. This has been a lot of things that Doc has been doing on the side. And this is one of the main topics is overcoming an emotional suppression in men is really key. But it's so cool because the Boundaries and Brotherhood YouTube page is bringing subscribers and we haven't been promoting anything yet. I just been pumping out all this material. All righty, Doc, you have it.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, I like all the stuff.
Okay.
Like a clean look, a very clean look.
Okay. I like the gamma because I can control what it sees and whatnot.
Yeah, actually even use gamma.
Oh, okay, cool. The man on the fly now.
No. So trying to break the silence. That's the name of the presentation, because the fact of the matter is we as men have been taught to be silent and we are suffering in silence, and we need to break all these stereotypes of what it means to be a man and how you can't cry and all those negative stereotypes that keep us stuck, that keep us questioning ourselves, that keep us thinking that we're not good enough. We're here to break all of those, break all those chains so that we can be fully ourselves, fully authentic, be the men that we were created to be, and actually have a full life of love and happiness and joy and peace, and be able to express ourselves and get what we want out of our relationships, out of our businesses, connect with. Where it's so much more than just saying a feeling word, so much more than that. So that's what this little mini workshop is for. I know we talked about over here already, Gordon. I think you were saying, but essentially we're here to help men. We're here to save men. We're here to create the space for men to be able to be themselves, for them to be able to share, for them to be able to open up, for them to know how to do that, how to articulate themselves,
Right.
so that we can be able to get the things that we want out of our relationships. I guess the next thing is a question, but I want you all to think about this, ask yourself this question. How many of you have been in your marriage, in your relationship, at work, somewhere where you have an idea or you have a thought and you want to share what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and you don't? You hold back. I don't want to offend anybody, or I don't want to hurt. I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want to make any waves or anything along those lines, or I might blow up, or whatever the case may be. If you think about all those responses, had to do with processing emotion, processing feeling. So if you're here and you know how to do that, if we can teach you how to do that, then there's no situation, there's no conversation that you can enter and not be able to have full mastery and full control and be able to navigate and share what you're thinking and feeling and articulate yourself in such a way where you can actually get the things you want. That's more money, that's more sex and more intimacy, that's closer relationships. The list goes on. And those are the things that we're missing out on the most. Connections with other men.
What are some of the things we'll learn today going into this short mini style shop?
We're going to talk about emotional suppression, where it comes from, us as men, why we suppress our emotions, the stereotypes that exist around the emotional suppression, the events in our lives that cause us to get to that point. Then we're also going to talk about some of the consequences of suppressing our emotions, because we've talked about it in our podcast before, where by suppressing your emotions and not open up and sharing, it causes all types of damage, mental, physical, emotional, financial, addictions, all types of damage by suppressing our emotion. It's one of the most devastating, damaging, and deadly things that we can do as men is to suppress our emotions. We're going to learn a few skills and strategies that teach you how you can still be masculine and open up and share what you're thinking and feeling, right? So that's what you can expect to get from this workshop today.
Nice, nice.
So let's hop into it, right?
Hey,
So it starts, honestly, starts from society. It starts from culture. It starts from things being passed down, examples that we see, the things we see in Hollywood and on TV. What is a real man? People think about like Rambo, for example. Real man, big muscles, shooting a big machine gun, big businessman in a suit. Nothing bothers him. No one can tell him what to do. He has the hot wife and the nice car, and he's the hero. And there's no vulnerability in any of those images. None.
mm-hmm.
So the message that we get is to be a real man, you cannot feel. You just do. You just act. You are just logical, right? Then we see the message because our fathers got the same message, and so we see them. We never see. I've never seen this. I've never seen that. Never seen. And so now we have all these images from all these different places and societal pressures that say, for you to be a real man, you aren't supposed to feel. You're not supposed to want. You're not supposed to get help. You're supposed to be out there by yourself, getting it in. No connection. That's what it means to be a real man, right?
Especially with a lot of things going on in the world right now. It's like half of it's went this way, half of it's going this way. So much stuff going on, especially at this point in time in our life, in our world going on. Masculinity can be masked as so many different things. This is where it all stems from. What would be something that you say is the biggest? In fact, hit the next slide. Hit the next slide for you, Doc. And in this way, out of these consequences of the emotional suppression that you see in your practice and with men going on in the world right now, explain some of these so that they understand this, so that maybe they would want to work with us a little bit more or find more of our content. If you're watching this on the replay, write something down in the comments and we'll get back to you. But explain some of these boxes for us, Doc.
All right, let's go with the bottling up emotions, right? Because that's something that happens with guys all the time, or it happens with us constantly. Matter of fact, I was literally just in a session with someone, and that's something that they said that their husband did, right? And so it's this thing where, again, we do feel, right? I don't have emotions. You're a liar. I'm gonna say you're a liar.
Yep.
Because if you never had emotions, for one, you would never ever been with your wife. You would have never been connected with your kids. You would have never felt great when you won scored that touchdown. You would be like Spock. You would be just, that's nice. That's good. That's what it means to not have emotions.
Guilty of it.
Don't believe the lie that you don't have emotions. We have them, but what do? We bottle them up because we don't know what to do with them. They're too extreme. They're too much. And we're going to appear weak. I don't know how to articulate myself. The one time I did share, I was made fun of and ridiculed. They called weak. They called a female and called all these things. So I just bottle them up. But what happens, though? We blow up. Eventually, you can only put the cap on for so long, and we blow up. Then we get physical. Then we start damaging things. Then we're hitting people. Then we're becoming more aggressive. Now we're cussing everybody out. This is what happens when our emotions get bottled up and we don't share, right? Go ahead.
You have addressed all these issues that we have with it. What does it look like to have the exact opposite of what we're trying to provide here? What does it look like? What's that dream life look like? Or the dream situation of having all this ill suppressed emotions? What does it look like on the other side? After you see the coaching processes, the work that you've done for yourself, what would you see by working together with us? What would be the dream life that you can paint?
I'll be honest. Everything the world says you can't have as a man, you can actually have it.
Absolutely.
Everything. All right?
Absolutely.
A healthy relationship where you can express what you feel, where your needs can be met, where you can have as much intimacy as you can handle, where you can connect as much, where you can be successful in your business, where you can get your plans through, where you can build bonds to other people, you can connect, you can, all of that. One of the jokes that people say online, again, one of those lies of women never take responsibility. They always run from their stuff. Women will start taking responsibility. Your wife, your girlfriend, when she does something that hurts you and you know how to articulate that, she's going to start taking responsibility.
Oh, yeah. I got to stop you right there, Doc, because this is just give some of our viewers a tool that they could use right now to know that it's possible. Since this is a mini workshop, we're making it available. We're making something that you can do in the next 30 minutes. and you have to try it. Give me a tool. Give the audience a tool. Give us something that can be used, because this way they know we're not full of shit.
I'll say this, Gordon. If anyone's coming looking for a quick fix, I can just come and just do this one thing. My whole life is perfect.
No,
This isn't the place.
no, this is not the place.
You can go to the charlatans and the liars down the street that will
Yeah,
tell you
no.
that. If you come to my workshop and spend $1,000, I can fix your entire life in one day. You can spend your money there. You can do that there. That's fine.
No.
Your life is still going to be trash. It's still going to be
Yep.
bad. You're still going to be angry and sad and hurt and alone and depressed and suicidal and everything else.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. But what I will say, a strategy you can start practicing right now is you could actually start practicing breathing.
Yep.
Taking breaths.
Yep.
Because when you do that, you actually are able to put yourself in a place where you are manually controlling your thoughts and feelings. That it's a critical thing. You can start doing that right now. It will give you a sense of peace and ease. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, then release for 6, 7 seconds. Slowly.
Get it all out.
About 3 to 5 times.
Nice,
and you're going to find your whole body just relaxes, like you get down to a baseline. And by being able to do that, you have now done the first part of even being able to express your emotions, because you got to be in a regulated space to be able to share what you're thinking and feeling the right way. Because if you're not, and all of us have been in these arguments, what happens? We become dysregulated. We become thrown off. We become frazzled. We're not regulated anymore. So now we're saying everything and anything. Now we blow up. Now we've called you all kinds of names in the book. Now we're divorced. Now we're this. Now we're that. Now our businesses went down the drain. Why? Simply because we didn't have that regulation in the beginning to know I need to walk away. This is becoming too much. If you're looking for a strategy you can use right now to start actually feeling yourself decompress right there in the moment, doing deep breathing. Again, slow. And can we practice it real quick, Warren?
Absolutely, guys. If you're watching this on the replay, if you are getting it live somewhere, because it's streaming in multiple places right now, leave a comment with the word breathe and reach out to us, guys. Because in this way, we can get in the right state of mind, have the right oxygen, the right release, and let everything get off your shoulders. I tell my wife this all the time: breathe. This is your wheelhouse. And it's
because I can guarantee there's so many. They're like, oh, that doesn't work.
It works.
It works if you practice it beforehand.
Correct.
Because guess what? Nothing works if you just hop into it willy-nilly. I want you to go to the Olympics with zero practice, and you tell me how well you're going to do. You're going to be trash. You're going to be bad. You're going to be horrible. You have to practice this. And you can do this in the morning. You can do it as you go to bed. And when you do that, you'll get to the point where, like where I'm at now, I can literally take one breath and regulate my entire body. One breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and regulate my entire body.
Anything else? What Coach Sanders says, show me your highlight reel and how you practice on the bad days. This is the same exact thing. Yeah. Practice this breathing, practice this stuff. Let's go for it, Doc.
All right. So we're going to breathe in for 4. I'm going to count my fingers. And then for the breathing in, I'm going to count for holding. And then we're just going to release. So here we go. Let's breathe in for 4. Release. All right.
What's our fingers? He forgot he had an audience there, guys. He forgot he had an audience. All right, let's go. All right, go ahead.
And also, we're going to breathe in for our nose. We're going to hold for 5. And we're going to breathe out for 6 or 7, okay? So here we go. Breathe in. Hold. Release. And one more time. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Now you do that for 3 rounds. You do that you can do 10 rounds every day in the morning and at night. And you're going to get where you can just take one breath in a moment and calm your entire system just like that. But again, it takes practice, takes consistency.
And guys, this is the type of stuff that we want to be pushing so that you can have that emotional state that you truly deserve. Because forget all the stress, the financial responsibilities, everything is you need your time with people that know how to get out of your situation, know how to get in a better place so that you can have these type of things. And it starts with just simple breathing, guys. God, Doc, let me ask you about this. Out of these 4 blocks right here, if you used to put them in order, there is no, would you say, correlation with it. What would be your top 1 through 4 to take into consideration that you
Let's
see
see.
from your practice?
I mean, if I were to put these in order,
They're all important. There's no right or wrong correct answer.
Gordon, I'll be honest, they would all be on the same line.
They would all be on the
They would
same
all be on
line.
the same line.
No, something because some men might have, I'm dealing with this anxiety, I'm dealing with this depression, I have these bodily emotions. They all connect, intertwine.
Yeah,
You can go crisscross, it can go back and forth, but I just want to say, because you see it, what are you seeing
it's
to
so
understand?
heavily, honestly, it's so heavily interconnected. Like you can't, it would be impossible to remove one without removing the other. Like for instance, what's being bottled up, the anxiety and the depression and the stress that's being bottled up. What's happening because that's being bottled up at the same time. You're struggling in your relationships and the connections. So now you can't connect with them. You don't feel loved. What happens when all this is going on at the same time? Your health is suffering. Your immune system is going down. Cancer cells are building. Your heart's struggling. Like all of those things. There's no way to separate it and say, just bottle up my emotions. But I have no problem with stress, anxiety, and depression.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, there's no way to mitigate this except just to face it head on and deal with it and learn to process it and not suppress anymore.
And what you say is, you want to move on to the next slide?
No, because remember, this is just a
Yeah, we can, because we can go in for hours, days, a full-blown retreat on this, but we want to keep it short for you guys so you can like bite-size. We did an exercise. Okay, no problem.
This one, the role of emotional intelligence. Let's touch on this real quick.
It's okay.
All right. So the role of emotional intelligence, but really it's just understanding what you feel and being able and understand the message behind it and responding accordingly.
That's it. That's so important because, like you said, some men, I'm guilty of it also. Okay, I don't have the emotional fortitude to understand the message behind it. I only know 2 things, happy and anger. But once I figured out how to address the message with the feeling, with the word, to everything, and you start honing in these skills, you become a master of your emotions with certain exercises and the benefits, leadership skills, because you have more empathy for a lot of people. You understand them. I'm not just running you over, having it my way or get out the way. It's much healthier for communication, my relationships, my understanding, the sympathy. Even though my wife says my delivery is wrong, I'm just so passionate sometimes because of certain things. But then I have to do, like you said, and I have a greater than myself, and then I revisit everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we want you to get to that point where it's like you want to command the respect versus trying to force the respect. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. What would be another situation from not having the emotional control that you teach? And what would be a good outcome that you've seen with one of your clients that transformed? You know, people like stories of transformation. What would be your transformational story that sticks out with a gentleman you helped or a family or a couple that you helped with having this emotional intelligence type workshop for these people?
Honestly, I'll just share my own, right? That's the change I've seen the most, right? Like I've worked with a lot of people and seen change with them and whatnot. But for me, just speaking from my own experience in doing this myself, because I want to be as real with you guys as possible. I don't want to sell y'all wolf tickets and sell y'all on stuff I don't do myself. I don't want to be a liar. I want to be congruent across the board, right? I'll share this. There was a moment, this actually just past Thanksgiving break. It was a Wednesday, I think. And I had a session with a client at 10:30. Right? New clients, couples counseling and all that. I thought it was going to be a virtual session. So I'm at home, cleaning up, doing my stuff and everything like that, get myself ready, do my hair, hop upstairs to my computer at 10:30 on the dot. Then I realized this was supposed to be in person. And I'm away from my office. I'm scrambling around the house, running, trying everything to get there, right? Running out the house, shirts all messed up, hair looking crazy, everything like that, right? I'm texting them, trying to. So by the time I get there, I'm burst through the front door. I'm looking in the parking lot that's empty. I don't see them. I reach out to them, and the wife reaches back. She says, "Yeah, we're gonna go with another therapist." And I felt terrible. I felt
Mm.
absolutely terrible. I felt I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed about how unprofessional I looked. I felt guilt. I felt those things, right? And it hit, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like when you do get something, you're mischaracterized or something doesn't work out, like it hit. And so what usually happened is when I would suppress my emotions, what happened is that I'd feel bad all day. I'd feel horrible. I would be despondent. I wouldn't be able to connect with my wife. I wouldn't connect with anyone. I don't want to do anything. I want to overeat. I don't want to play video games or watch TV and not connect. That's what used to happen. So it used to happen.
Okay.
What happened this time was I came inside, I sat down, I owned it, I faced it. That was embarrassing, man. That was embarrassing how could you mess up like that? I just owned it. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I did. I messed up. I should have checked my calendar. I should have been more thorough. I should have had the person's number. That was another part. I didn't even have their number. I should have had all that. But what can I do about it now? That was the thing. I got the message. My stuff was put out there, the embarrassment, right? I violated my own beliefs, the guilt. I got the message from it. I processed it. This is what happened. I owned it. And then the next part was, well, what are you going to do now? What's the thing we can do now? And I said, the only thing I can do now, the loft client, they're gone. The only thing I can do now is just set things up so it doesn't happen again. Okay,
Right,
cool.
right.
And so then I went home, told my wife about it. And then guess what happened, guys? I was so honest with you. I'm tell you, this is what happened. That feeling of guilt, that feeling of embarrassment, gone. Gone. Not there anymore. Not dwelling on it the rest of the day, not dwelling on it the rest of the night, not having the heart palpitations, not having anxiety, not overthinking. It was gone. I got the message from my brain. I responded to it. I took action. Message received, no longer need for the emotion. That's the power of being able to understand your emotions, of having that emotional intelligence, understanding what they mean, the message they're giving you, processing it, doing the action, and moving forward. That's the power of it. I'm talking about processing emotions like this. No longer are we having to hold them in for days and weeks and months and years at a time, suffering and dying on the inside, right? No, we don't got to
Yeah,
do that.
that's the number one thing for me. It took me years to figure out that it's self-accountability and what you could have done to your action and just let it go. Because at the same time, like you said, it's what are you going to do else about it after? There's not a damn thing you can do about it. And I tell a lot of young people this. Now, until you figure that out, what is your role in it all, and you can admit it, it takes a real person, man, to understand that, to move forward from it. Until you do that, you're making up excuses, you're making up reasonings, you manipulating yourself. You're doing all these things just to make it sound like it doesn't come from you. Once you do that, it's time to move forward. And that's the whole key to it. And that's part of Boundaries and Brothers workshop. It's from, you're getting experience from a person like me who's been multiple things not proud of. You're getting insights from Doc here that has the insights, the intelligence, the schooling, everything. So you're getting two worlds that have combined together to bring you a synergy level from not just experience and background and street smarts. This has come from real world examples from us changing ourselves. And that's the best part you can even do it.
If I could just, I want to hop in real quick with what
Absolutely.
and I need you guys to understand this, right? Because let me also say this. I'm not here just to serve Black men,
No.
white men, or rich men, or poor men. We're not here for that. We're here to serve all men. If you have an XY chromosome, we are here to serve you. Gordon just said, I have a doctorate degree or whatever, right? When he came from the streets or whatever. I want you to think about this. We're on different sides of the world. Gordon, you grew up in Hawaii, correct?
Correct.
I grew up in Florida.
Florida. Opposite side.
How is it we're on opposite sides, opposite cultures, everything? We were experiencing the exact
Same
same thing.
thing.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I can't just serve one race or one culture. Why? Because we're all experiencing the exact same thing, completely different worlds. How is that possible? Because it will be conditioned. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you see patterns, you see everything and things that's
God.
going on in the world. You see the same type of men, no matter if they're Mexican, Black, Asian, white, and it doesn't make a difference. But at the same time, where did all these beliefs come from? Where did all this behavior come from? And once I start breaking all of that down, what is that?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, I think so. That was one of my kids' iPad. Siri just answered me on something.
Oh,
But it's just one of that threw me off. It's like at the same time, you see all the old beliefs, and that's where people are going in the wrong direction. All right, let's move on. Since this is a pretty good workshop. I like this style better, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, rewriting the narrative. I like it. Please do.
All right, so rewriting the narrative of masculinity, all right? People always want to talk about toxic masculinity, and I'm here to say right now, real masculinity cannot be toxic. If you are toxic, then you are not being masculine. It's not masculine for us to run from our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. It's not masculine for us to suppress anything. It's not masculine for us to only explode and blow up and become aggressive and angry. That's not masculine. That's not what a real man does. Us as real men, what we do is we have to face our emotions and control them, right? We have to be able to process them. We have to learn how to use them. Because when we're talking about getting to a place where you could literally generate and use your emotions on command, you know, that is, you can literally generate emotions to get things done. But if we're talking about rewriting the narrative of masculinity, we have to face it and we have to challenge it on its face in front of everybody. We have to be the change we wish to see. We have to be vulnerable. So for any man who's ever tried to open up to his girlfriend or his wife and she starts calling him sassy or calling him anything like that, you can shut that down. Okay, you're being very dismissive right now. You're being very hurtful. As a matter of fact, this conversation's done, right? I'm out. Now, guess what's going to happen? She, all head wagging or whatever the case may be or whatever she would do. But guess what? She's sitting there by herself. And she's going to come and try to, I'm going to give him sex to get him. No, you say, no, get away from me. What are you doing? Get away. No, you're going to talk to me that way. Then all of a sudden now it's, oh, shoot. Maybe I did mess up. You're in a group of guys and like, we're all jaw jacking or whatever the case may be. And you bring something up. Now, I don't really like that. Y'all not going to make fun of me. I don't like that, man. Chill with that. Oh, you're soft. You're being weak. No, man, you're just being rude and disrespectful.
Right.
That's what you're being. Right? When we need to get to the point where we can start saying that. That's how we start rewriting the narrative.
And that's respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a business meeting and we can't challenge the boss because the boss, no, because what he's saying is wrong. I'm going to challenge him. Hey, boss, real quick, man, you just said this. And yeah, no, it's actually this over here. I just wanted you to point that out. Oh, dang, you could do it. Yeah, then we start challenging the narrative, right?
Right.
We start expressing what we're thinking. Nah, I don't like that. Hurt me. That made me sad. That made me feel some kind of way. Then when you start doing that and people see that you're not broken, that people see that you're not dead, that people see that, dang. Especially if you're already someone who people look up to and they start seeing you do that. They start seeing you be vulnerable. They start seeing you open up and share. And then we'll actually have another thing where we can talk about how actually we can move from being vulnerable to invulnerable by expressing and processing our emotion. Again, you guys got to stick around for that, right? But by being able to do that and we're setting that example, when I set that example for my sons and be like, hey, I can express my thoughts and feelings and emotions, guess what? I'm not less of a man. I'm more of a man.
More. Because you can take control of it all, your actions, the behaviors changing. It takes a little courage. But once you get to that point, at least you can have the courage enough to have that open communication within yourself to know that it's okay to do that. This is some of the things in the workshop that most men don't understand. And I'm for one that will admit it. I didn't know you could do that. But then once you get that and it starts becoming a different behavior and you're going to light up. And that's what we want for you, because once you light up, look at Doc's face. He knows that until you know this, you don't know. Until you don't know this, you do not know, because you're going to cower. You're going to be afraid. You're not going to be really living up to the standard that I know you can be, because I'll give you a perfect example. I'm not supposed to have the life I have now. I'm not supposed to have the peace I have now. But it took all this rewiring of the narrative on the masculinity, the fear, the overcoming, all this crap that you've been taught. What if you think it was wrong? What if you say, if me and Doc can pull something out of you that can change your projection and how you look at the way you look in the mirror, the glow that you have, how you vibrate on a certain frequency, and how you light up a room, wouldn't you want that for you, your family, and the people that you care about, especially yourself? Especially if you're going through something right now. This is when we need you the most. This is why we created this type of workshop. This is why we can do it in 1 hour. But if we can do it over a day, a weekend, or a big retreat, maybe we can do some breakthrough work. Does that make sense, Doc?
It's a perfect sense.
Right here, Doc.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's get to the next one. No, we're not going to do a group exercise, guys.
Yeah.
But that is something, reframing our old beliefs.
Reframing, yeah.
That's important, but we won't go into that right now. We'll touch on this, I think, because we're coming up to the end, and I know we might be at time now, too. So practical tools for a healthy emotional expression, right? So one of the things that's so important is journaling. It's not for females. It's not some babysitter's club, put it under your pillow type thing. Journaling is just simply writing, right? All journaling is you writing about what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and being open and honest and real. When we talked about emotional suppression before, this is a way to get it out. This is a way for you to process what you got going on. And if you don't even know what the words to put down, because I don't even know what to say, just start writing. This sucks. I hate my wife. My life is terrible. Whatever. Just write it out. Don't be concerned about, well, what if someone finds it, or I'm trying to be nice, or I need to be articulate, or my handwriting needs to be. No.
Yeah.
Right. Just get it out. By you being able to get it out and see it on paper, guess what? There's going to be a cathartic effect where it comes out and it's, dang, I'm not as stressed as I used to be. And then you could actually go back and start looking and reading over it. Dang, yeah, man, I was feeling that. That does make sense. And the more you start doing that, the easier it's going to be to start articulating it verbally. Now, I'll be honest. This is something that's difficult for us as guys, right? Because of this social conditioning of what it means to be a man, right? But we need to be able to start finding and creating safe spaces, right? If I want a safe place, I got to make a safe space. I got to be a safe space. That means that you can come to me, or you can come to my group, or I can go to you, or you go to your group, and we can be able to be open, honest, and share what we're thinking and feeling without fear of judgment, without fear of anyone tearing us down. We can be validated. We don't have to put the mask on anymore. We can start being authentic. We can start practicing that authenticity with men who are safe. And then the last thing is just learning how to communicate effectively. And that's, I'll be honest, that's got to be a whole course in and of itself, Gordon. The more,
yes, absolutely.
There's so many nuances to communication, how to speak, how to listen, how to ask questions, how to track in a conversation, how to regulate your emotions. And that's just some of it. So I'll say this, learning how to communicate effectively is going to be important, right? Because if you can do all these three things, and you can convey the message in a way where it can be received, then you can get the things you're looking for. And when you master that, it's
much easier.
It's different on the other side.
Very much.
Man.
Yeah, very much. When me and Keith designed a workbook for the kids that grow into men, it's the same exact concept. Because you got to be able to express those feelings. You got to learn how to communicate effectively. So it's not just transactional. It's more transformational and a partnership of everything that's going on. Because let's face it, we are in the people business. If somebody tells you what business you're in, they say, oh, I sell this and that. No, you are in the people business of doing something for other people. Whether it's pain, desires, problems, you're always going to be in the people business. If not, you do not understand business. So understand these are some of the tools. And like you said, just these three parts of the triangle right here can be one product, one service that you might need. You might have to take all three of them, but that's what we're going to start providing these type of workshops. And if you want more in depth, you can reach out to me and Doc, and we have an assessment that you can take so we can see where you're at. So we can start where you're at. He's like, well, what else we got, Doc?
I think we're rolling up on the end.
Okay, we can go finish on this.
We got to support each other. We got to be role models, be the change you wish to see. If you want safe space, be that safe space. Learn these skills, master it. If not for you, do it for your children. Do it for your relationship.
Absolutely.
The community. Do it for the people at work. Be that role model that people can look up to and say, it's okay for us to be able to open up and share our thoughts and feelings, and so we can still be men. And then have these open conversations where we can share whatever we're thinking and feeling, respectfully, of course, in a way where it can be received by the other person. And we can receive that validation, that understanding, and not be dismissed. So by doing these things, by committing to this, we can create our culture's emotional strength wherever we may be. No matter how toxic an environment might be, if you could be that change and have people gravitate towards you, then you can literally be that change. And you can actually probably even change the whole culture of wherever you are as well. if not
Absolutely.
change the culture, at least insulate yourself from the culture. Right?
In fact, that's a really good way to end everything
Yeah.
because that makes all the sense in the world for everything else. So let's see. You got any last words? That time went by fast when you were having fun. This was a good. We'll get the replay. We'll get it all pumped up, guys. If you want that assessment, reach out to Doc on Facebook here or on YouTube. Boundaries and Brotherhood. We're getting a lot of traction on that page right now. Just started to like the algo started to pumping it all up. Facebook is starting to get all these traction. I look at that, holy smokes, 60 views in a couple hours. I'm like, what the? All right. Now let's get it up to 20,000, get some more subscribers, keep pumping it up. If you want that assessment, reach out to me at Gordon Watt on Facebook or reach out to Dr. Keith. Message us on the Boundaries and Brotherhood Facebook page. Let's get that assessment. Get you the help that you need and you want and you deserve so that you can actually be on that lookout. And look out for more pop-ups like this. Look out for more workshops. Looking out for more tools. We're going to be busting out a lot of different things. Eventually getting to an app where you can just hop on. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
All right.
And I just want to say one last thing as far as that assessment's concerned, guys. So that assessment, I strongly recommend you guys reach out. We're going to have a place where you can get it. I want you to take that assessment. It's going to analyze your emotional intelligence or your ability to be able to understand and process emotions. And it's going to let you know where you are to see what kind of help do I need.
Yep.
Definitely key into that, lock into that, get started. This is the beginning of the rest of your life.
Love it. All right, Doc. On to the next one. Let's get it going. Gentlemen.
Boundaries and Brotherhood.
See you guys later.
Like this type of stuff, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.